should also make ourselves flexible so that we do not pin our hopes too much on our set plans, and can move over to those things to which chance has brought us without dreading a change in either our purpose or our condition, provided that fickleness, that fault most inimical to tranquility, does not get hold of us. For obstinacy, from which fortune often extorts something, is bound to bring wretchedness and anxiety. And much more serious is the fickleness that nowhere restrains itself. Both are hostile to tranquility and find change impossible and endurance impossible. In any case, the mind must be recalled from external objects into itself. It must trust in itself, rejoice in itself, admire its own things. It must withdraw as much as possible from the affairs of others and devote its attention to itself. It must not feel losses and should take a kindly view even of misfortunes. When a shipwreck was reported and he heard that all his possessions had sunk, our founder Zeno said, "Fortune bids me be a less encumbered philosopher." When a tyrant threatened to kill the philosopher Theodorus and indeed to leave him unburied, he replied, "You can please yourself, and my half-pint of blood is in your power, but as superior, you are a fool if you think it matters to me whether I rot above or below ground." Julius Canus, an outstandingly fine man whom we can admire even though he was born in our age, had a long dispute with Gaius, and as he was going away, that Phalaris said to him, "In case you are deluding yourself with foolish hopes, I have ordered you to be led off to execution." His reply was, "I thank you, noble emperor." I'm not certain what he meant, for many possibilities occurred to me. Did he mean to be insulting by showing the extent of the cruelty which caused death to be a blessing? Was he taunting him with his daily bouts of madness? For people used to thank him whose children had been murdered and whose property had been confiscated. Was he accepting his sentence as a welcome release? Whatever he meant, it was a spirited reply. Someone will say, after this, Gaius could have ordered him to live. Canus was not afraid of that. Gaius was known to keep his word in commands of that sort. Will you believe that Canus spent the 10 days leading up to his execution without any anxiety at all? It is incredible what that man said, what he did, how calm he remained. He was playing draughts when the centurion who was dragging off a troop of condemned men ordered him to be summoned too. At the call, he counted his pieces and said to his companion, "See that you don't falsely claim after my death that you won." Then, nodding to the centurion, he said, "You will be witness that I am leading by one piece." Do you think Canus was just enjoying his game at that board? He was enjoying his irony. His friends were sorrowful at the prospect of losing such a man, and he said to them, "Why are you sad? You are wondering whether souls are immortal. I shall soon know." He did not cease searching for the truth right up to the end, and making his own death a topic for discussion. His philosophy teacher went with him, and when they were not far from the mount on which our god Caesar received his daily offering, he said, "Canus, what are you thinking about now? What is your state of mind?" Canus replied, "I have decided to take note whether, in that most fleeting moment, the spirit is aware of its departure from the body." And he promised that if he discovered anything, he would visit his friends in turn and reveal to them the state of the soul. Just look at that serenity in the midst of a hurricane, that spirit worthy of immortality, which invokes its own fate to establish the truth, and in that very last phase of life questions the departing soul and seeks to learn something, not only up to the time of death, but from the very experience of death itself. No one ever pursued philosophy longer. So great a man will not quickly be relinquished, and he should be referred to with respect. Glorious spirit, who swelled the roll of Gaius's victims, we shall ensure your immortality.